Let's get you an overall figure of the seizures by the Enforcement Directorate. The total cash seizures in the SSC scam case stand at a whopping 41.9 crore and counting. Remember, the Enforcement Directorate is still counting the cash. The gold bars that have been recovered so far, they account to almost 2 crore, and the jewelry currently stands at 78 lakh rupees. Those are the massive seizures by the Enforcement Directorate as it cracks down on the SSC scam, which had Bengal Minister Partha Chatterjee as the kingpin, and his main aide, who was Arpita Mukherjee, was one of the main characters in this entire saga, from whose home now almost over 40 crore in cash has been recovered, gold bars worth rupees 2 crore and jewelry worth rupees 78 lakh. Let's get to our reporters who are tracking each and every angle of the story. I'm joined by Ashish Maharishi on the broadcast, who tracks the Enforcement Directorate, as well as Shogda Mukhopadhyay reporting from outside Arpita's residence. Ashish, I'll come to you first. This scam just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and now we're also learning that Partha Chatterjee ran a school indirectly, which was worth 50 crore rupees.
So, there's a Bubbly Charitable Trust, which is Bubbly was basically the name of the wife of Partha Chatterjee. His son-in-law runs this school. But what my sources in the Enforcement Directorate tell me, that indirectly this Bubbly Charitable Trust International School, BCM International School, is basically run by none other than Partha Chatterjee himself. So more than 50 crore rupees worth of school. They are investigating the funding into the trust and how the school basically was built over a period of time. So that is in one area of investigation. But it's not about the school only. What we are seeing is massive cash haul. Cash to the tune of more than 42 crore rupees till now. In the first raid, you remember, the 21.90 crore rupees of cash was recovered. And then at that point in time, both Arpita and Partha Chatterjee were taken into custody after a lot of effort by the Enforcement Directorate. They had to go to the PMLA court, and finally they got around 9-10 days of custody. But interestingly, during investigation and during interrogation of Arpita, they found 2 more houses in West Bengal, in the area of 24 Parganas. Now, in that area, 2 houses, they were broken. The doors were broken open by the Enforcement Directorate officials, and to their surprise, they found huge amount of cash. As of now, as we speak, it's going to take overnight for them to count. Till now, 20 crore rupees of cash has been counted, and the figure is going to be much, much more. 4 machines were brought from the banks. Bank officials along with ED officials are counting that cash, and then it further goes into the treasury of the exchequer. But ultimately, the big question is from where this kind of cash was generating. Arpita Mukherjee, who's a no one, who's a actress who has acted in only few films in Odisha and in West Bengal. That lady, if she's keeping this kind of cash, from where that cash was coming. So obviously it is the money. The Enforcement Directorate sources tell me the money is basically through 3 scams in totality. First is for the giving jobs in grade C and D through SSC. Then there is appointment of teachers through SSC, that is School Service Commission, and then the third is the appointment of teachers in the primary sections of the school. So huge amount of money was collected. For each seat, anything between 7 to 12 lakh rupees was asked in primary section, and for higher grades of teachers, the fees were the charges was much higher. The illegal gratification was much higher. So ultimately, now what you see is that the Enforcement Directorate has been able to capture the proceeds of crime, and obviously in days to come it's going to be tough time for Partha Chatterjee. I can confirm that it's going to be a much difficult days in days to come. My sources in the Enforcement Directorate, as I have told in the past as well, Partha Chatterjee dialed 4 times to Mamata Banerjee. 3 times she did not take the call, and the 4th she blocked his number. So it's going to be tough time, because it seems to be that TMC, Mamata Banerjee, is not standing on Partha's side, and he has to fight his battle all alone.
Absolutely, and she says she stands against corruption, but she has not taken any action against Partha Chatterjee in the capacity of being TMC Supremo and West Bengal Chief Minister. Ashish, thank you for getting us the updates from the Enforcement Directorate. And as Ashish is pointing out, each seat, the minimum price tag on each seat was about 7 lakh rupees. And that cash haul that you see on your screen is a result of all those funds that were gathered from all those aspirants who just wanted to work for the state government as teachers. I'm joined by Shaugata Mukhopadhyay reporting from outside Arpita's residence, where the Enforcement Directorate is combing through those mountains of cash and all the jewelry and gold that they continuously are recovering. The tally keeps on growing. Shaugata, is it a long night for the Enforcement Directorate officials?
Well, it certainly seems so, Ayushman. I'll just step out of the frame and show you. That's the truck that has been brought in just a short while back. And that truck is apparently carrying the trunks which will be used to transport that cash and the jewelry and the gold bars and the documents that have been recovered from flat number 8A in block number 5 in this upscale condominium in the northern fringes of Kolkata. And let me tell you that this operation is going to last a while. But that isn't all, Ayushman, because the issue I think that confronts the public at large as well as the investigators is this the end of it, or are there more to come? Because you see, every passing week we have a situation where almost previous records of staggering amount of cash and wealth being recovered are being broken at the very next search. So while we know that in the first instance in southern Kolkata at the Diamond Plaza where Arpita Mukherjee's first apartment was raided, 21.9 crore rupees was recovered. That amount will obviously be surpassed over here, it seems, at this point in time. But is this the end? Because there are multiple properties popping up every single day from the deeds, from the property documents that the ED officials are recovering from properties of Arpita Mukherjee. And some of these documents are held in joint names of Partha Chatterjee and Arpita Mukherjee. And not just property deeds, land deeds, deeds of companies, ownerships. So all of them are there. So they have to be obviously brought together. But I ask myself at this point in time, Ayushman, as to where does this end? Because there are properties that are popping up everywhere in Kolkata belonging to Arpita Mukherjee. There are properties popping up in the districts. And we do already know of several properties. Every day there are new deeds coming out. So what happens if the ED continues to engage in this kind of search operations over the next few days, and every property brings up this kind of staggering amount of wealth that has been amassed and kept hidden? That is something that is as far as I am concerned is beyond my explanation. Where does this go? And obviously from the political point of view, this has obviously put the Trinamool Congress in a very, very tight spot. Tomorrow, Ayushman, is the state cabinet meeting. Partha Chatterjee was a senior cabinet minister in Mamata Banerjee government. Will Mamata Banerjee take a call in the wake of these latest developments that are happening right in my background at this point in time, Ayushman? We do not know. There is a meeting of the industry sector in Kolkata immediately after the cabinet meeting. Partha Chatterjee is the reigning industry minister. He is the current industries minister. Will Mamata Banerjee take a stand vis-a-vis that as well in that meeting? We do not know. We'll have to wait and watch. But obviously the opposition has lost no opportunity. The BJP will hold a mega rally in Kolkata tomorrow in protest. The left held a massive rally in Kolkata today in protest. So obviously, politically speaking, the Trinamool Congress finds itself politically in a very, very tight spot. Ayushman.
Right. And Shaugata, can you give us an understanding of the voices around Mamata Banerjee? Because we also accessed that memo where Partha Chatterjee tried to call her 4 times. 3 times she cut the call. 4th time she blocked the number. And then she came out with a statement saying, I stand against corruption. Let action be taken if he